Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang practice session, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this Satsang session. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These practice sessions are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these practice sessions, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul. But only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangis. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Thanks, Eddie. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So today, I wanted to just revisit. We talked about, how the step of concentration or manifestation before we even get into deep silent meditation, helps. That was, the Richmond Saturday satsang. So now going back to what helps, concentration, which eventually will lead to better meditation. So some of this is, very almost intuitive and, very straightforward. But these are the tips which help a lot. So the first one itself, actually first two of them, sitting still, not getting up, and to persist through your meditation session. What I find, or throughout my practice, was when you sit in group meditation, especially in person, those two things just happen almost automatically. And, so you become captive audience for the period of meditation. Typically, group sessions take a bit longer anyway. So, you get used to one sitting for an hour or more, and sitting still during the meditation, silently for some time as well. So all that, builds your own. So if you want to build individual practice, group sessions come to help that whole thing a lot. And then sing a devotional song. So music and satsang are very deeply connected. If I go back to the traditional, so during the time Guru Maharaj and his guru were just starting the practice in the early 1900s, it was for decades, it was chanting was integrated into it. Later on, Guru Maharaj created a whole very long, relatively, it's like almost 15 minutes before the meditation, there is a traditional prayer or two, and then there were mantras at the end. So good 25 minutes of just, prayers. So all that helps. And, helping someone. So that's another part where from day one, and, Guru Maharaj and his guru kind of, inculcated this whole service mentality into everyone who joined these sessions, this practice. So very, very services heavily integrated, which ought to be in any spiritual pursuit. So first four are absolutely and totally integrated into this practice. I mean, and actually the next two are as well. So, when you, especially when you go to in-person satsangs, which is how it all started, all satsangs were in person. This virtual thing just came, last 15 years or so. And I am a big proponent of virtual, but I think there are do's and don'ts when you follow virtual. So one, I think it cannot be just all virtual. So it can be virtual first, but without in person, your experience is not complete. And I can tell you by my own experience, as well as you know, some of the people who did not support the virtual effort. Their number one thing was that this is, you know, very, very, the in-person aspect of satsang is extremely important. And I have no two thoughts about it. In-person has its value, its place. So next year, I'm actually trying to see if not only we create a virtual community, but segregate that in ways that people can actually join local in-person events. So that whole effort needs to go in place for next year. Informing your mentor. So like, you know, any guidance, any, you know, any effort where somebody is helping you, you know, if something is not falling in place, especially concentration is step one, you know, definitely take some advice, take some action on your own. And taking action on your own, so service, helping someone, very, very useful. All these aspects that we discussed are, but, you know, if you try to figure out what's the root cause of, and we talked about the root causes or multiple things that, you know, come in the way. So the monkey mind, like what actually, what creates these hurdles? And there are the five senses going outwards, the emotions within our minds, and so there are, you know, we have discussed that too. So whatever is causing you to, so if you are having things that are in the backdrop, which are making you not, you know, focus on your meditation, rather, it, you know, there is an overpowering, you know, overpowering aspect within your mind or within the situation you are in, the things that you're dealing with. So try to see whatever that root cause is, if you can minimize, if you can eliminate. And fasting has been, you know, very, very popular in India. I mean, people do in different ways, but I think that is another. So, you know, people always look at the health aspect of it, but here in this context, it's more of, you know, my mind goes towards eating. How can I control my mind? And when you get some control over your mind, that would help your meditation, because that's also where you are trying to, you know, make your mind do something that it naturally doesn't want to do. Or it has learned some things which need to be unlearned. Distract your mind, which is temporary, but something is totally consuming you and totally distracting you, then take your mind away from it. And I think we talked about attending group meditation, which takes care of lots of the things above. So anyway, let's practice. So sit in a relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed. So still relaxed posture and eyes lightly closed. That goes a long way in creating this inward orientation, which is one of the first steps in this practice. Inward orientation. So your focus, we want to turn inwards. And then what do we want to concentrate on? What do we want to manifest? So that is transcendental energy in form of light. So just think of this transcendental energy in form of light, which is right here, right now. Feel the connection, feel the presence, and that light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. So you're getting totally immersed in it, and you're becoming the light. You are becoming that energy. So when mind wanders away, which it will, you just bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. So you can do mindfulness or any other, meditation or concentration practices that you do before or after. While you do this practice, just focus on one thing and one thing alone, which is to observe this transcendental energy in form of light, and that it is right here, right now, and it's, that light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you are becoming one with this light. And we'll start with music that helps concentration, and then music fades away, and we go deep into deep silent meditation, and then we transition out with music again. Let's start now. So happy Tuesday, everyone. So just was thinking about the Saturday session in Richmond. Turned out to be a good good in-person session there. We're planning Seattle and Bay Area in January and February. So any questions, comments, thoughts? So Eddie, anything your end?
You mentioned music and how that's an important part of satsang, and I agree. It's also an important part of living in, right? We spend our day in a lot of activity, and whenever we get a moment to just relax and settle our minds, we should take advantage of it. And one way to do that is to listen to music. It can be classical music or the flute music that we just listen to. All those things are very calming and relaxing, and they do alter our state of consciousness, like to a more peaceful state of mind. So um, it's always good to take advantage of, between periods of activity. It's always good to take advantage of those peaceful moments, and listening to pleasant music like that is one way of doing it. So it's kind of just wanted to remind people that that's available to us. And when you do things like that, we talk about satsang and experiencing this inner world. I think it opens up, that specific dimension of your life, that inner world, and you begin to realize more things. And I don't know, it's just kind of amazing and enjoyable to have that inner experience and those what do you say, not it could be visions, but most of the time it's just sort of these uh, thoughts and ideas that come to you. So it's a good moment to take advantage of that. Just our peaceful, calm time, listen to some music, and let those thoughts as they arise, just take note of them. Some of them will be very informative, maybe some not, but it's just a wonderful time to get to know yourself and and the inner path that you're on. So, just take advantage of the music and the peaceful times in your life.
So interestingly, every time I think about that, I also think about, there are lots of pieces that are integral to satsang. So in-person aspect, the group aspect, the inner satsang, so inward orientation aspect, and music, and even food. And we have talked about it a few times. All these things are, so when you meditate, keep some food in, where you're meditating, because that will get charged with the same energy that you're being charged with. And when you consume that food, then it has the same effect as, so as food stays in your system for longer, your energy capacity, this, the same energy remains with you for longer. So that's a very important aspect. But music is integral, but just a word of caution there is one, uplifting music versus not so uplifting music, right? Because not all music is uplifting music. That's number one, right? Number two is that music helps concentration, but then that should lead to deep silent meditation. So it's a step towards it. It's not in itself meditation. So that was the topic of last Saturday, right? That dharana is not dhyan. So manifestation is not meditation. Manifestation leads to meditation, and it could be seamless transition, but the steps are different. Does that make sense? Yeah. So yeah, it's so I think I have been just talking about some of the key components of meditation, but music, food, in-person aspect. So for the English sessions, I think we need to start looking at the entire set of dimensions. So next year, want to see how we transition into looking at all those pieces together. Very
Yeah,
well.
just
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's the full experience. So it's good to get acquainted with. I think that'll be a step in the right direction if you can do that.
Yeah, because what I want to do now is in next 2-3 months, create some content which in form of video and booklets and other things to consolidate the concepts with what we have been talking about, and then introduce within that process some of these other aspects that should complete the other dimensions, including a community, a beginners community where the beginner resources are there, where we discuss how do we enable meeting in person, enable faster learning, more intense learning with some courses and things like that. So, yeah. Lot really looking forward to next year with all this stuff. So after many years, I think I'm almost there to bring all this together. So,
Look forward to it.
Yeah, totally looking forward to it. So Omkar, Shivangi, anything, and Pam and Jeff, anything before we wrap up?
Namaste, Bhaiya. I just came back.
I know. How was the trip?
Trip was good. Yeah. So I'm just catching up with things.
Good. All right then. So have a great week ahead. We'll see you all soon. Be light, love, and peace be with you. So take care and be the light.
Thank you. I'll try to be. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Namaste, Bhaiya ji.
Namaskar.
Bye, everyone.